beautiful book lovers, welcome once again to Reading Room, your weekly journey into the world of books, knowledge, ideas, and imagination, right here on Freedom Square TV. My name is Lillian Ezinwa, and I'm super excited to have you join us here today. Today on the program, we'll be diving into the magic that reading brings into our lives. But before we begin, let's take a moment to look back at last week's episode. And last week, we explored the exciting world of language through the book 3,000 Idioms and Phrases, written by Sam Phillips and published by Goodwill Publishing House. I know that particular episode, we got a lot of messages, people reaching out to us to say, yes, I would love to have that book. Okay, hope the books have gotten to you. If no, please reach out to us again and for a reminder, basically. So last week, like I did say, we discussed how idioms enrich communication and allow us to express thoughts more vividly. And we gave examples. One of the examples that we did give you was abortive efforts, right? Where we said it means labor without success, okay? Labor without success. And we actually gave an illustration, an example. We said it is better to be successful in one game than to make abortive efforts in all games. Okay, so that was one of the examples that we rolled out for you on the show. Then we also gave another example, out and about, where we said it means to return to normal activities after a break, sickness, or absence. So that's the two examples that we gave on the show Reading Room last week. So, but for today, we have a lot of things we'll be doing today. Okay, but before we get into all that, these idioms, the idioms that we gave you last week, and idioms generally helps us to speak confidently, write clearly, and better understand everyday English expressions. So if you missed last week's episode, please calm down, okay? We have something for you. There's a place you can go and watch it later. So you could actually catch up on our YouTube channel at Freedom Square TV. At Freedom Square TV on YouTube, you will definitely be inspired. So I want to appreciate all of you who are obviously going to the YouTube channel right now to check out that particular episode. But before we get into our topic for today, we'll take a short break, and when we do return, Reading Room continues and we'll get to introduce our guest. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. It's still Reading Room right here on Freedom Square TV. Before we get to meet with our guests, we just want to remind you that if you're interested in setting up a library at your house, your school, your community, or you want to set up a library generally in your office, you could reach out to us via this number 0803 714 5231 0803 714 5231. So reach out to us and we could come set up that library in your home, in your office, in your community, wherever you want us to set up the library. We'll certainly do that for you. All right, so today on the show, we'll be exploring the theme, building a stronger reading culture among young people. Building a stronger reading culture among young people. And to help us dissect this particular interesting topic, we've actually we have somebody, and this is his first time on being on the show. Obviously, it's not going to be his last time on the show. So we have with us Mr. Chukwuebuka Chibuko. Chibuko, right? Okay. Good afternoon, and welcome to Reading Room.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope at the end of our program today, a lot of people who will be watching will be inspired and enlightened on, and also cultivate the habit of reading. So you briefly introduce yourself to our team and viewers.
Okay, good evening once again, Lillian. Like she said, my name is Chukwuebuka Chibuko. I'm a public affairs analyst. I'm a public servant. Once a lecturer at the Polytechnic. I'm still a student somewhere.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. So my first question will be, why do you think reading is so important? Not only for young people, I mean for everybody. Why do you think reading is important?
Okay. Reading, as we all know, it helps in strengthening the mind. It helps to build vocabulary. It helps to build confidence. It helps to make you to overcome low self-esteem. Reading also teaches us how to be disciplined. It helps us to build our imagination, critical thinking. Do you understand? They say that a reader, somebody that reads, acquires knowledge. So reading in all aspects, you see it, is very good. If you read wide, you increase your knowledge.
Okay. If you read wide, you increase your knowledge. And I know a lot of people are watching, be like, wow, that's interesting. And what are the habits? Because I know there are habits that you, before you got to this stage of reading, that you could actually sit back and reading is not a problem for you. What are those habits that you adopted? Okay, and which obviously young people, even older people, can actually adopt to read more effectively. What are those habits?
Okay, the habits I developed for myself is like creating some specific number of hours to read, and not just to read, to acquire knowledge. I read wide, I read different types of books, magazines, newspapers, and what have you. You know, in as much as it's very educating. You understand? So like, you can start by 5 minutes per day, 30 minutes a day, 1 hour. Depends on your system. But me, when I started, I did not start maximizing number of hours. I started small, then to number of hours I can accumulate in reading. Choose the type of book you wants to read. Create some time, specific number of hours to read. Joining a reading club, and most important, and be consistent. Not that you read today, you throw it somewhere, after like 1 month you go back on it. That is, be consistent. It will help you to develop a reading culture.
I like the fact that you say be consistent, because I think that one of the problems that a lot of us face is consistency. Because you find out that a lot of us will read one book for 10 hours, for 10 days, 1 week, a book that you can actually finish in a day. Some of us read it for 10 days. So that boils down to consistency. Because if you're and you talked about joining a reading club. So are you in any reading club, and how was it possible for you to join? And when do you even have time out of your busy schedule to go and sit and join a few people to read?
You know, before this program starts, you hear what I said, that I want to rush out to go and read. So, yeah, I go read. We have colleagues, you understand, when we read, because every one of us are aspiring for one examination or the other. So when we read, when you think maybe what you read is not well assimilating, you have to bring it up to your colleagues for a collective idea. Yes. So they will tell you what they understand, and you use it to do what? Solve the questions you are asking yourself, which that make you to do what? Bring up the question for them. So I have a team which I read with out of my busy schedule.
Okay, that's fine. Then it brings me to my next question, right? You talked about exam. I feel, and I've been wrong, that a lot of people do read because they have an exam, not because they want to acquire knowledge. Now, don't get me wrong. I remember back then in school, we read. If you ask most of us now, okay, do you know this? Some of us cannot be able to explain what we've read, because possibly we were reading to pass an exam, not because we wanted to that knowledge to sing, to be dead. Yes.
No, it's a two different thing. You understand? Some people read to pass exam, and most people that read to pass exams, once that exam is over, they will dust their book and keep. But read to get knowledge, we read in season and they read out of season. You understand?
How does reading influence creativity?
Like I said, it creates creativity in many ways, but in my own view, I can say it helps to build up imaginations. When you read, you create mental pictures, which will help you to develop new ideas on your own of what you read. You understand? This fuels creativity arts, art writing, and problem solving.
So when you talk about problem solving, what do you mean? Because you want to tell me that now that if I read, I'll be able to solve problems.
Yes.
How?
Okay, for example, when you read wide, there's some piece of information you see in this particular book, and the other one and the other particular one. When you accumulate all of them together, it will help you to imagine how to do what, solve the problem. Because I believe there's no problem that cannot be solved with what reading. Every problem has been talked about in one particular book or the other.
Okay, so we really appreciate you for joining us today. And one powerful thing, one powerful point that everybody, if you listen attentively to him when he was speaking, and which I am taking away from this conversation, is that a strong reading culture builds strong minds. He said something about imagination. You broaden your imagination, right? Reading is not just academic. For those of you who think that, oh, you want to just read because you want to pass an exam, because you there's a lecturer you just want to impress, you want to impress your parents. For those of you who read because of that, I want to Mr. Chukwuebuka for sharing your wisdom and passion with us, the passion you have for taking it one step at a time, getting to read, getting to not only read, write as well, and the ability for you to read, which will actually shift into problem solving. Thank you so much for sharing that with us on the show today. And want to appreciate every one of you viewers for joining us on this beautiful journey. Remember that readers are leaders, and even book, and every book that you read takes you a step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. So if you want to become the best version of yourself, one of the things you need to do is to pick up a book and read. Yes, that's the way you can become a best version of yourself. And to get quality books, if you would love for us to come and set up a library in your home, in your school, in your office, in your community, what you just need to do is to reach out to us, or just a phone call away, a WhatsApp call away, or WhatsApp message away. So send us a message, call us on this number 0803-714-5231. 0803-714-5231, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Freedom Square TV. Freedom Square TV. My name is Lillian Ezinwa, and I want to appreciate every one of you, and to all the members, all the crew of this program, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, I'm your reading companion. Until next time, keep reading, keep growing, keep reading, keep growing, and don't forget, this is Reading Room right here on Freedom Square TV. Bye.